All right, let me just share some free-ranging thoughts here. This is a time when social media is even more insufferable than usual. And that's saying something. Everybody's either raging out or gloating, depending on how they feel about what happened yesterday. And I mean, I get troll. I get the appeal of trolling, especially when they're clever. When it's clever trolling, I get the appeal of putting people in their place when they're really annoying, people. I get it. I get Schadenfreude. But as I said the other day, Schadenfreude is, how did I put it? Tainted joy, or it should be. It should be. And I'm not I understand. Look, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. I'm not pissing in anybody's cornflakes here, or not meaning to, be a downer or a party pooper or anything like that. I'm really not. It's really easy to lose perspective at times like this. And I think it's good to keep an even keel. I think it's good to not get too far down and not get too far up. It's good to feel good, don't get me wrong. But just don't blow it out of proportion, is what I would say. But that's sort of a different issue. As far as the whole trolling, or what's the word that I just used a few minutes ago? Gloating. I just think, in general, it's not a good look. It's not good for the soul. But I mean, I understand with some people are really infuriating. And when you have a chance to get in their faces and laugh in their faces, I get why you would want to. Here's where I'm going to try to humanize things. However, and maybe some of you will take me as being a Donnie Downer or a party pooper, or taking a leak in your cornflakes or your Fruit Loops or whatever cereal is your preference. There are good, decent, normal people out there. I know them. I know some of them who are really not happy today because they're on the wrong side. What can I say? I don't want to say they've been brainwashed necessarily. They've just been convinced that that the side that's that I think, and that most of you think, is the lesser of two evils, at the very least, is actually the worse of the two evils. And so there are good people who are suffering right now, who are struggling with what is going on. And we should be kind to people like that. I'm talking about people who aren't aren't obnoxious, who aren't um, who aren't trying to censor you or shut you down or call you names, but who just for whatever reason, they're normies and they're on the wrong side, as we would see it. And one should distinguish between people like that, of which there are many, and the kind of people that really should inspire gloating. But I would also say that unless you've got a really good line or a really good meme to offer, I think it's best to refrain from gloating, because it just sort of repeats the cycle. I kind of think that this is how they have us trained. Like, they have us in competing camps, fighting with one another, and then one side wins and the other loses, and then one side gloats and the other rages, and then you remember the gloating that they engaged in before, and then you store that in your mind, and then when the time comes around when you get a victory, then you can gloat right back at them, and it just sort of goes around and around, and it's part of this thing that I think we need to try to get out of. It's like, and I'm trying to say all this without coming across like I'm like superior or holier than thou, or anything like that, because I want to make it clear I understand the appeal, but those are just my thoughts about. I'm staying off of social media for a good long time. I mean, and I think it's probably best to stay off social media, period. Unless you're unless you've made friends and you're communicating with friends there, or if you've got something interesting or clever or insightful to say. That's how it ought to work. But so often the way that it does work is the way that we see it. What we see happening now, what I'm sure is happening now, on social media, even though I haven't checked, I can't verify, and I don't wish to verify, because I know it's there and I want to stay away from it. I'd want to stay away from it, because it's like it doesn't, it's like it brings out the worst in us. If you're raging or if you're gloating, that's really not the best. That's not the best of you. You're not bringing your best. To coin a phrase, you're not bringing your best. So just think about that. Put that in your roll that in your joint and smoke it, and that's all.